Hello and welcome to On It with Stephen's Life. I'm Kobe Elliott.
And I'm Olivia Odell. According to CNN, the U.S. is stepping up its missile defense after a threat of preemptive nuclear attack by North Korea on South Korea and the United States. The threat was in response to current sanctions on the country by the UN Security Council. While U.S. defenses are fit to handle the current threat, 14 new interceptors will be installed by 2017. This brings the total interceptors to 44. But Hong Li, a spokesman for the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, believes this will only antagonize North Korea further.
In other news from China, it has been reported that the number of dead pigs found floating along the Shanghai River rose from 7,500 to 13,000. And viewers, be advised that these images are graphic. Officials have been working to remove the animals and figure out exactly where they came from. No evidence of an epidemic has been identified, and governments insist that the food and water supplies are safe. This is according to a story in the New York Times. For another story of global importance, we head to On It's Haley Johnson. Haley?
Japan is the world's largest importer of liquefied gas because they do not have their own energy source. But last week, Japan became the first to extract methane hydrate, known as flammable ice, from the seabeds near Tokyo. Methane hydrate is frozen natural gas that can be found both onshore in permafrost as well as offshore under the seabed. Canada and Japan have both been extracting methane hydrate from permafrost, and the United States is trying the same methods in Alaska. There's an estimated 7 trillion cubic meters under the sea surrounding Tokyo, and there's evidence of flammable ice off the Carolina coast. Of all fossil fuels, flammable ice has the most energy, but it also has the most carbon. The environmental effects as well as the stability of this are still unknown. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Haley. It certainly seems like there's a lot happening in the world.
That's right, Olivia. And America also has its fair share of domestic issues. For more on this subject, we send it to Angel Mendez. Angel?
Yeah, guys, it dates back to the start of the nation, the right to bear arms. But in light of recent mass shootings at malls, a movie theater, colleges, and even in elementary school, some are starting to question the freedom guaranteed by that Second Amendment. I talked with Head of Security Tony Coleman about the issue and what gun rights students have on Stevens campus, if any at all.
That's a national debate that's ongoing currently, especially with all the proposed legislation. So I know that there's actually students out there that have those type of permits.
Missouri is just one of 21 states with concealed carry weapon laws that ban carrying those same licensed weapons on college campuses. 23 other states allow their colleges to make the decision themselves. Other states like Utah prohibit the ban on concealed carry weapons, while Wisconsin allows them on campus, but only where signage specifically banning the guns is not present. While state law mandates the ban of these guns on Stevens campus, a lot of students said if they saw signs on the outside of each door or every entrance, they would be more aware of the law. But Coleman told me there's a specific reason why not having the signs is just as crucial as keeping the guns off of campus.
You know, when they see a sign that says no weapons, then, you know, to a potential threat, to potential gunman, then that's advertisement that they won't be faced with any resistance, if you will.
While Coleman told me there have not been any issues involving concealed carry weapons on campus, a survey I conducted through Facebook polling Stevens students indicated a high percentage of gun ownership. Out of 22 responses, 8 students said they did own a gun. When asked where they stored that gun, 9 of them said in their hometown, and 2 of those same respondents said they also store it in their purse or backpack. The reasons behind owning a gun range from personal protection to hunting and shooting recreation. Despite the number of women that said they did own a gun, only 3 respondents said they were aware of and followed a campus gun policy.
Do you think not having those signs has kind of made students unaware of whether or not they can carry guns on campus?
Well,
they do have a concealed and carry license.
It's a possibility, but it's also one of those things that is clearly outlined in the student handbook. If they need a reference to go to.
In an effort to increase awareness, Coleman said the security staff hosted numerous active shooter training sessions for faculty, staff, and students in February. Those sessions provided information about what to do in campus shooting situations. He estimated more than 200 people attended the sessions. If you want to take Coleman's advice and see the exact wording of the campus handbook, we've posted a link on our website at stevens.edu/stevenslife. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Angel, for that important report. We move on to some lighter news because while the semester is quickly coming to an end, students shouldn't check out too soon or they will miss some great events from the fashion and theater departments.
That's right. With theater department in preparation for its last show of the year, on its Tyler Polson has reported a couple of the show's performers. Tyler?
Allison French is hosting two Chihuahuas, Maud and Gertie, who will be taking center stage in the musical Legally Blonde. Both of these dogs came from situations where they had little interaction with humans. Frisch says that when she first got them, they had no clue what the stairs were, and Maud refused to move on a leash. She says that now they do the stairs and the leash like a champion. Although they still have a lot of anxiety to work out, they need to be able to be on stage around loud singing, moving set pieces, and 30 people dancing around them and not panic. Along with hosting Maud and Gertie, Frisch dog Lily will be playing the part of Paulette's dog Rufus. Lily already knows a lot of the tricks she will need to know for the show. While Lily may be a rock star and ready to go, her main challenge is listening and being calm on stage because while Maud and Gertie are nervous right now, Lily is tremendously excited. All three doggies have training sessions every day to prepare for the show. However, the canines are not the only ones anticipating the performance. Frisch says make sure that the pups spend a substantial amount of time on set getting used to the cast members. Back to you, Olivia.
Maud and Gertie are up for adoption. Frisch hopes that the show will get people excited about the adoption. She goes on to express how wonderful that Maud and Gertie are. Potential adopters can fill out an adoption application at columbiasecondchancewith2.org at any time. They'll be able to go to their new home following the final show on May 3rd.
Wow, I can't wait to see the show. I'm sure my family's dog Bronx would have stormed off stage right after the first rehearsal. Keeping up with the puppy trend, we head to Lane Wallace here with this week's puppy pictures. But first, a look at the weather for spring break. Lane?
Spring weather we had last week decided not to stick around. For all of you who are sticking around the mid-Missouri area for your spring break, expect a high today of 41 degrees and partly cloudy. Saturday, you'll see a high of 44 degrees with a 50% chance of rain. And Sunday will reach a meager 36 degrees with a 70% chance of a rain-snow mix. Personally, I was over this kind of weather. For your upcoming week, expect highs to be in the mid-40s, gradually warming up as the week progresses. For those lucky students headed to the Big Apple this week, expect a high today of 42 and partly cloudy. Saturday, it will warm up just a bit with a high of 45 and partly cloudy, and for Sunday, expect to see a high of 46 and cloudy. Chicago will be looking at a pretty steady weekend. The high for today is 39 degrees and partly cloudy. Saturday, expect to reach a high of 38 and partly cloudy, and for your Sunday, you'll round it off with a high of 35 and mostly cloudy. Anyone lucky enough to be in Los Angeles this weekend is looking at a really great week. The high for today is 70 degrees and sunny. Tomorrow, we'll repeat these temperatures with a high of 70 and sunny, and for Sunday, you'll round off with a high of 69. Panama City Beach is the hot spot this year for spring break once again. For those of you arriving today, the high is 67 degrees with a 20% chance of thunderstorms. For those of you who hung out your classes today and won't be arriving till tomorrow, the high will be 72 with a 60% chance of rain. And for your Sunday, you'll finally warm up with a high of 77 degrees and a 30% chance of rain. For all of you on the beach, I hope the weather stays warm. For those of us who are spending our spring breaks at home, here are some puppy pictures to make your week a little brighter. Sassy from Dexter keeps warm inside, basking in the sun and chewing on her rawhide. Bronx from St. Louis fights off the cold Missouri wind with a fashionable and practical scarf. Brownie from Chicago is ready for her mom to come home for break, putting her best paw forward in a bright pink bow. And finally, Blue from Jefferson City stays one step ahead of her brothers, Henry and Louie, while out enjoying the sun. For On It, I'm Lane Wallace. Back to you, Colby.
Thanks, Lane. I'm so ready for spring break. Jessica Langford is here to tell us some quick tips on how to find destinations to travel to, where some of our Stevens women are going over break. Jessica?
Now's the time we've all been waiting for, spring break. The week off begins Monday, and some are still in limbo about where they would like to travel. Travel.usnews.com has your back. They have a top 9 spring break destination that will help you and friends figure out where to go and what's affordable. According to their list, South Padre Island is the #1 destination for 2013 spring break. This is followed by Daytona Beach, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and wrapping up the list is Santo Domingo at number 5. Some of Stevens' very own plan on making their own special trips for spring break. Freshman fashion communication major Bianca Fitzpatrick is gearing up for her trip to Florida. Our very own Haley Johnson will be going with some other Stevens women to Panama City Beach as well. Have fun, ladies, and enjoy the weather. Back to you guys.
But not everyone is headed out of town. A week off is just what I need to get back on track. Do you have any special spring break plans?
I plan to eat, sleep, and shop in their order. I've really been neglecting those 3, and I need to get my priorities straight. What about you?
I haven't been home or seen my family since winter break, so I'm headed to good old Lexington, Missouri. And for others that are sticking around here, Honest Tyler Polson has gathered some ideas for Stevens women about what they do for fun in Columbia. Tyler?
I'm Tyler Polson with Stevens News Life, and we just like to know, what will you do for fun since it's so cold outside?
I currently do the hot new trend, hot yoga, if anybody else does that. Trying to stay inside because it's so cold, but any kind of athletic events I'll go to as well.
When the weather's cold, I like to stay in my room and watch Netflix, primarily 30 Rock and any British mystery TV show I can get my hands on.
I do a lot of reading and I watch a lot of stuff on Hulu, but it's kind of just more for relaxing than like fun, I guess.
What do you plan to do since the weather's finally warming up?
Be outside more, maybe volunteer at a few animal shelters that let you participate outside.
If I still had my bike, I would love to ride that around, but I'll probably be walking around downtown and going to boutiques and things like that.
A couple friends of mine and I are planning on like going on runs, and we're gonna go down to the lake park some, and just stuff to enjoy the sunlight.
Thank you. Since the weather has been so cold, it seems like majority of our Stevens ladies are spending all of their time inside. But now that the weather's warming up, we'll see a lot more ladies outside working out, volunteering, and just having more fun. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Tyler, and thanks to Lane. We know how the weather's been holding up, but how does one fuel up without feeling out? Cardio and weights do shed the pounds, but what really kicks the trim down into gear? Nutrition. Many sources say that to maintain a healthy body weight, the work you do is 30% gym and 70% diet. Starting your day with breakfast is key. Be mindful about eating every 2 to 3 hours. Munching on trail mix or some crackers is a good choice. When it comes to lunch, deserted stamper may be enticing, but create a colorful salad with protein is a wise choice. Just like after breakfast, have a snack between lunch and dinner. Eat an apple with a tablespoon of peanut butter. This is a great way to get your fruit, protein, and fat. When it comes to dinner, you can't go wrong with pasta and bread. Be sure to toast your bread, as untoasted bread stays in your system longer.
Those were some great tips that I think everyone can fit into their diet. Even those hard-working fashion design students. They can get fit while working on a fabulous garment, almost like they did this previous Saturday.
So true, Olivia. This past Saturday, last weekend, Stephen fashion design majors showcased their work to a jury to select the apparel that will be in the final fashion show on April 20th.
That fashion show is said to happen April 20th, and it's to show off the seniors and their capstones. Their garments and clothing they've been working on all year, modeled by model group students. In the big year-end event. A jury was held this year at the Columbia Performing Arts Center bright and early on Saturday. Judges sat and watched more than 130 garments walk the catwalk in hopes of being a finalist.
Many of the students that attended the jury selection were very impressed with this year's unique garments. Those who decided to opt out of the event will have to be patient a few more weeks to see the final showcase. I'm pretty sure it will be worth the wait, and these fabulous designers will deliver like all Stevens women do.
I'm beyond excited to see the show this year. When I hear some pretty amazing collections to be showcased. You know, Colby, the only problem I have is what to wear.
You know, I have that same problem too. It's like choosing between the little Gucci dress or the little Gucci dress. Thank God Sam is here with a report on fashion trends this season. Sam?
It's the beginning of spring, but for many in the fashion world, it means the end of fall fashion weeks. After the bright lights of the catwalk have dimmed, many shoppers are eager to find the styles they have seen in stores. The trends for fall will be statement coats in bright colors and/or fur. Classic patterns like plaid will counteract the spring's more computerized looks. Longer hemlines on skirts provide a more modest look. And winter white means no more white after Labor Day rule is over. Also, ruffles like Balenciaga will be popular. Stevens being a fashion-forward school, many of these trends are already showing up around campus. I'm Samantha Geary with your fashion input. Back to the news desk.
Thank you, Sam. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching our 6th episode of the semester, and be sure to check back with us after spring break for more news.
And don't forget to visit our website for 24-hour access to your news at stevens.edu/stevenslife. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Stevens_life. I'm Kobe Elliott.
And I'm Olivia. We'll see you back here April 11th.
This show was produced by the Advanced News Writing and Production and Advanced Studio Production classes at Stevens College through the collaboration of Columbia Access Television and the Schools of Interdisciplinary Studies and Organizational Leadership and Strategic Communication.